Well, hello, and welcome to Nighttime Land. As you can see, it's dark. I have a special light on, so it's very spooky. Anyway, I have my tea here. You can see the steam coming off of it too. Look at that. It's so cool. I haven't had tea in such a long time. This is chaga mushroom tea, so very good at building your immune system, so I wanted to take some. Alright, so today I wanted to talk about fatigue, fighting fatigue, okay? So, this tea is too hot for me to drink. So, as someone who has dealt with fatigue for such a long time, I've found ways of dealing with the fatigue, and these things include how you approach your life and what you do with it. It encompasses also what you intake as well, like the types of foods and plants and herbs and whatever you take. So let's talk about that now, shall we? So, one of the biggest things of fighting fatigue, because I've had a lot of fatigue for a very long time in my life, because I've been diagnosed with fibromyalgia and I've had this chronic fatigue for such a very long time in my life. I really have. And the best way I would describe the fatigue is just you just feel so lethargic and tired. And you just don't really want to do anything. Everything just seems like so slow. Almost not necessarily like you feel depressed, but it just doesn't feel. It doesn't feel like you can really get the things done you want to get done. So, one of the most beneficial things at combating fatigue is to do the things that you love. Quite literally, that is the best thing you can do, because when you're in this mindset, when you're in this zone of getting things done and living this dream reality of achieving your goals, when you're doing the things that you absolutely love, it's remarkable. It really is. And it gives you so much energy. You can just feel like the energy flowing through you. You just feel so alive as you're accomplishing these tasks and you're feeling good about it. And it's such an amazing feeling. It really is. So that is one of the most important things that you have to do. So, let's see if this tea's nice enough. A little bit. Very mushroomy. I haven't had it in such a long time. So, by being in this mindset, being in this zone, you can literally combat pretty much anything. And the fatigue is one you can combat with this. Because if you don't have any kind of goals in life, or you're not living these goals, it's like you don't have any drive in life. You don't have any motivation. You don't have things that inspire you, motivate you, and allow you to get towards that goal. It's kind of like, and here's like a good example for me as well. When I have like a doctor's appointment, or I need to get somewhere first thing in the morning, versus days that I don't have anything planned in the morning, or anything even planned that whole day. On days that I do have something planned, I tend to wake up a lot earlier, get the things I need to get done quicker, so I can make it to my appointment on time, and just be able to really get the things done I want to get done. And then I just have like this drive, and I just have this motivation. I'm always kind of moving, always kind of active, always kind of doing something. Versus days that I don't have that, where I just feel as though I'm just laying in bed for so long, just feeling lazy, feeling tired, just not really wanting to do anything, and you just feel so lazy and unproductive, and that laziness and unproductiveness makes you feel even worse. So that is a good example. And kind of related to like laying in bed and everything, I do not like the cold. I feel as though the cold makes me very unmotivated. So, it being cold now where I live, it's it'll be approaching winter, not very long from now. It's going to be hard to get the things done because I am very sensitive to temperature changes, very, very cold. I do not like the cold, so I'll just like want to stay in my bed where it's nice and warm, you know? So that's another thing that kind of slows me down a bit. It really does. That one you really can't combat because, I mean, you can have heat, you can have dress warmly, but it's still not the same as it being warm outside. It just feels warm all over. So I'll just need to move somewhere where it's warmer. That would be ideal, but I can't right now. So some other things you can do is I find also, and I just did a meditation today, is just like energy related meditations. Like if you would do like I find some of the most powerful ones to be chakra meditations, when you imagine the energy of the earth and the universe just kind of flowing through you. And I have a good image here I can kind of show you. So let me get the light on. So if you see here behind me, so you see the energy just kind of flowing up through the human body here. And that's kind of what I do, because when you have that fatigue, I often feel a lot of the fatigue like in the chest area. My chest just feels very heavy. And in addition to that, up in my head, I feel very like my mind is very slow. My mind is very sluggish. So those are the two main centers for me that feel very underactive, that need to be kind of amplified some more to allow the energy to kind of flow through me. And that's what I do. And it helps tremendously. It really does. Because essentially what you're doing is you have like a blockage, or you have some kind of low energy field. And what you do is you let go of what is preventing this energy flow. It could be something like your own mindset, certain thoughts, certain stress and anxiety that you have. And that's what I tend to notice, because you may not notice it. I mean, you may not be aware of exactly what's causing the 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 fatigue, but once you kind of begin to calm your mind and focus and relax, the answers come to you. It really is remarkable. It really is, because I've done that so many times. I've been kind of like at a crossroads in my life. I'm like trying to make a decision. Should I do this, or should I do that? I mean, like I'm just kind of lost. I'm like, what is the answer here? Let me know what the answer is. And through a calm mind, I'd been able to achieve that. I've been able to obtain that clarity that I needed to make the best decision. So, incredibly helpful. It really is. That's something that is helpful for me. I think a lot of people don't really know how to necessarily do a kind of meditation like that. But it's not difficult. It really isn't. I think it's just people just overthink it, and they think it's too difficult, when if you think it's too difficult, then it will be too difficult. So you can't really necessarily think along those lines. Now, relatedly to that as well, what about taking like substances that help with fatigue? I've certainly taken substances that have helped with my fatigue as well. I think a lot of people, when they have low energy, some people rely on caffeine, coffee, and you know, I'll sit here and say when you rely on any substance that you have to put into your body, it's doing more harm than it is good, because you're essentially saying I need this in order to feel good. When you don't. You don't need any of that in order to feel good. You can just feel as good as you want naturally. It's kind of like you have to take certain substances in order to feel good with your life, and you don't. You really don't. And I think that is the mind frame that people have that they get trapped in, because they begin to think that they need this in order to get this result, and you don't need it. You really don't. So, let me see here. For me, I've never been one who has had any kind of coffee. I mean, there's some things that I take that do have some caffeine in it that I will take on more rare occasions, but that's pretty much it for that. B vitamins is also a very good energy for your energy, and a lot of people may end up lacking, being deficient in B vitamins, especially like B12. Very, very helpful, very, very useful. And I'm sure there's a plenty more. That's just some of the ones that I take, but probably the most helpful thing has been for my fatigue has been CBD, which I've talked about many times before here, but I can kind of see how it has played an impact, because I took a break from it recently for like a little over a week, and I just started taking it again yesterday, and it was like my fatigue just started to kind of increase as the week went along, the further I got away from not taking it. And once I began taking it again, this was like the first full day, and I felt so much better, and I got more things done today than I did the previous like week. So I just felt better. I just had more energy. I didn't feel as lethargic or stuff like that. And I felt, I think my appetite plays a part of it as well. And same with eating the correct foods and eating healthy foods, because if you're eating things that your body doesn't need, and you become deficient in many vitamins and minerals, then you're going to feel fatigue. You really are. It doesn't matter how much motivation you have in your life if you also are ignoring the physical aspects. So you have to have a mix of both. And for me, that's kind of what I do. I have this mental mindset of the goals that I want to accomplish and achieving them. But I also have that physical aspect of taking the vitamins that my body needs and taking the substances that my body needs in order to feel good. But again, it depends on what you're taking, what you're doing, and everything like that. Because if you're relying on something that's perhaps like unhealthy for you, or has negative side effects after, continued use, like the caffeine is definitely, I think, one of the biggest ones people do. And that may be good in the short term, but for some people it's going to be it's not going to be very good for them. Or it also, when you continuously, take it over and over and over again, you kind of risk some other health related problems. So you have to really be careful on what works best for you. You really do. And what works best for me, the substances that I take, besides the vitamins, the CBD, that really doesn't have any real side effects that I've found. I've not noticed any side effects either. It's just been very good for me, and I can definitely notice that from taking it and then not taking it. But it's just amazing to be able to be fatigue free, to be able to live a life that you have this energy kind of flowing through you, this life energy that allows you to do the things that you want to do and be creative and be unique and be the person that you want to be. Now look at that. As soon as my cup enters, it changes. That's funny. So, if you have any stories about your own fatigue and what you went through and what managed to help, definitely let me know. I think it's interesting what the mind can do all on its own. It really is, because, as I said, you can't ignore either the mental or physical aspects of your entire being's health. You really can't. So it's important to be physically healthy and be mentally healthy. You know, have that drive in life. That drive and motivation is just absolutely incredible. It really is. So I am going to wish you all a wonderful night here, and I will talk to you all later. Okay. So you have a wonderful day and night. Okay. Bye bye.